All right, moving on to competitor research. Chances are you have a lot of competitor data. This is a little bit different though, because we don't just care about people who are directly competing for your customers. And I'll explain what that means in a second. So competitor research is essential to understand what your competitors are doing to connect with their customers, specifically on social media. So don't think of this in terms of your entire business, because a lot of your competitors might have really crummy followings and we aren't going to find that useful. So what we're going to do is select useful competitors. Then we're going to collect social statistics from those competitors and finally analyze a few of their posts. So very simple, still very vital. So do not skip this step. All right. So how do you choose your competitors? Again, you might say, I know who my competitors are. No, you don't know who your useful competitors are. So competitor types, we break down into three primary categories. Direct competitors, these are the people who are directly competing for the money you're trying to get. Your top tier competitors. So who are the competitors that are at the very top of your industry? So big that they aren't really competitors. We want to see what they're doing because eventually you want to get there. And if you learn from them, you can maybe get there faster. So who are at the top? And finally, your admired competitors. So these might not even be competitors. I put that in there because it helps you understand what we're doing. But it could just be a brand that you really admire that has just even the teensiest bit of correlation. Maybe it's just another B2B brand. Maybe it's another retail brand. And that's fine. So who do you admire? And look at their posts because you'll enjoy posting them and it'll be a lot more fun. So let's go ahead and get into it. So number one, let's select your competitors. Put the company, put the type, again, direct, top tier, and admired, and then put the reason why you chose them. And this is a really important step, especially if it's not your company. Maybe it's, your boss is going to ask, like, why did you pick that part? Why did you pick Nike? We sell shoes, but Nike's too big. Because they might have awesome posts and you might be able to learn from their $1 billion budget how to do some good social media posts. So we're going to put them anyways, but put that reason down so you can explain it to whoever asks. All right, next. All you're going to do is list the company, the website link, and then you're going to list the platform link, the number of followers, and the posts per month. Now, there are some tools that could find most of that data, but you can manually just click around and find it. Even for the posts per month, make sure you sort by recent and not by top, and you'll just be able to count. It'll take you 2 minutes to go down the list and say, okay, they posted 30 times. Now you do have companies like Harvard Business Review that post like 600 times, and that's difficult, but typically you won't find that. So we did put some examples in here. Hazel and Hems, again, you have Pura Vida, might be a direct competitor. You might have Kendra Scott as your top tier competitor. And then Vintage Soul is an actual competitor. It's another Austin close boutique company that would be an actual competitor for our fictional brand. Then again, you just list the information and then you go through and you count the data. And if you're not going to use certain platforms, then you don't have to count how many times per month. But it is very interesting because it's not usually what you expect it to be for any given brand. Now you will identify some opportunities as well. Like here you have they have 2.2 million Instagram followers, but only 4,400 YouTube subscribers. And even Kendra Scott, which is a very significant jewelry brand, only has 11,000. So, there's an opportunity for you. Just something to note. Same thing with Gearly. We have HubSpot, ActiveCampaign, and Asana, and then listing that information. And again, it's super interesting to see how many times they post. So in this case, you have HubSpot only posted 11 times on LinkedIn. So that's not even every day. That's every 3 days they post it. Good information to have. Go ahead and start collecting it. Next, you have social media post analysis. Again, some of these are going to be harder until you have gone through more of the certification. But what you're going to do here, list the company, list the platform, the post type. And the post type, again, is direct or indirect. So is it a post that is directly promoting a lead or a sale? Or is it an indirect post, which is roundabout, basically anything that's not directly promoting, but it's informational, educational, entertaining, controversial. So there's a bunch of different aspects that don't relate to an actual product sale or an actual product or service lead. And that's an indirect post type. Media type, typically picture, video, or audio. CVJ stage, that correlates to customer value journey. Content type. And a lot of these aspects you're not going to really understand yet, but as soon as we get to the post type database, you'll start to see, okay, here's why this is here. And you can always go back and input it. Is it a top post or is it just a post? How many likes, comments, shares did it get? And finally, the link to the actual post. So here you have some examples. And, you can see we put the carousel. This is obviously Instagram, the CVJ stages it relates to, what type of content it is, whether it's top post, the likes, comments, shares, and then finally a link to the post. And again, this is all research data that you're going to really want. And if you don't list it now, you probably just won't do it. You'll end up going through and that's a neat post. Maybe I'll make a new one with that. This gives you a database of info in order to pull from, which you're going to need later on. All right, so that's it. That is your competitor research. Again, very simple, but very vital. And, you can use a tool for this, but it's not really that hard. And you're not going to do this that often that you could just do it manually and learn a lot from it. So go ahead and bust that out, and then we'll move on to your market research.